A dog does not lose control at the moment it bites. It loses control at the moment it waits. When it waits at the threshold. When it lifts its head before eating. When it still hasn't changed its posture, even though the command was given long ago. When an instinctive order is issued, yet the body does not move. Control is not the formation of suppression. Control is the absence of the ability to give oneself permission. And when permission never arrives, the system does not break outward, it collapses inward. Welcome to my channel. I'm James. In this video, I will talk to you about the psychology of dogs. Let's get straight into it. Enjoy watching. The dog sits in the middle of the room. Its body is motionless. Its eyes are fixed on the table in the room. There is food on the table. The food has been there for 4 minutes. The dog has not moved. This is not discipline. This is not patience. This is a circuit, a loop the dog does. Not decide whether to move toward the food. Instead, it waits for the signal that the decision will be made on its behalf. The signal is external. The signal is human. The signal is the only thing that completes the action. Without a signal, there is no action in humans. We call this professionalism. We call it self-control. We call it maturity. We call it experience. But we never say what it actually is. The replacement of internal permission with external approval. The same loop, the same circuit. When instinct fires speaking in terms of human psychology, we call it speaking up in a meeting, leaving a relationship, taking an opportunity. The body does not move. It waits. It looks upward. It searches for the signal that says the command has been given. The dog's muscles twitch, microcontractions form in the hind legs. Suppression is not stillness, it is a continuous effort. The body wants to move. The system says no. The system is embedded so deeply that the dog no longer perceives it as external. A dog's psychology is more intense and more complex than that of other animals. Feels like choice. It feels like selfhood, but the self has been regulated. Obedience is not taught. It is embedded. It becomes an operating system, a structure, a formation, and once it becomes an operating system, disobedience is not rebellion, it is malfunction. A dog that moves without permission does not feel free. It feels broken. A human who speaks without approval does not feel liberated. Acting without permission disrupts human psychology as well. The dog feels dangerous, wrong. The food remains on the counter. The dog holds its position. Time passes. The system endures, but the system is not balanced. It is only waiting, a static mechanism the dog is taken for. Walks twice a day, the same route, the same duration. The walk begins at the door. The dog knows this, its body knows this. Psychologically, the dog is accustomed to this state and knows exactly what to do. It obeys at 6:47. The dog is already at the door. The leash is visible. The shoes are on. The door is 3 steps away. Everything is in order. The human is looking at their phone. The dog does not bark, does not scratch the door. It sits, it waits because, in dog psychology, what we call disrespect rarely exists. Dogs, almost always, obey that the body is ready. The instinct is ready. But the circuit requires the human to close the loop. The Human does not lift their head. 2 minutes. Pass. 5 minutes. 8 minutes. The dog's breathing changes, shallow, fast. Its eyes move back and forth between the door and the human because the moment of action has been delayed. Dogs are psychologically punctual animals. The system is still holding, but the suppression is no longer silent. Inside the body, it is loud. Energy does not disperse. It does not disappear. It changes direction. The dog turns and snaps at the air. At nothing, this is a reaction. Then, at its own leg, an inward, low growl. This is not aggression. This is misdirected discharge. If the system does not allow forward movement, pressure shifts sideways, inward, towards somewhere it can go without breaking the rule in humans. This is the argument that starts over dishes, but is actually about demands, ignored for years. Emails sent at 11 p.m. That should have been boundaries drawn at 9 a.m. Skipping the workout that was supposed to be done in the morning. Anger toward a stranger in traffic is actually anger at the voice that says, "Wait your turn," a voice that has turned waiting into identity. Psychology always governs the body, and regardless of the species. If a living being cannot manage its psychology well, a bad outcome is inevitable. Delay creates displacement. The longer the system holds instinct back, the more the energy seeks an outlet, and that outlet is never the original target. It is always smaller, safer, less likely to break the loop. The door finally opens. The walk begins. The dog moves forward, but residue remains. Misdirected aggression does not evaporate. It waits for the next delay. Control has not been preserved. It has been displaced. There is a malfunction in the gear, but the gear still exists. The dog is 11 years old. It has been obedient for 10 years. It sits when told, waits when told, comes when called, does not jump on guests. The bowl is placed, and it does not eat until the human steps back. The system is solid. It is a worker. Dogs understand loyalty well, but something has changed. The dog no longer makes eye contact as quickly as before. When a command is given, there is a pause. This is not defiance, not resistance. It is a gap. The command is heard. The body does not immediately respond, as if the signal takes longer to arrive, as if the circuit is weakening. The dog sits in the yard. The door is open. The dog does not go out. It looks at the door, then at the ground, then at nothing. It does not move to the door. It does not move away either. It simply stays. This is not obedience. This is the exhaustion of obedience. The system is still functioning, but it is tired. Every living being can get tired, because every living being lives according to commands. And when commands are delayed, when unexpected things happen, the being becomes confused. It slows down. In humans, this is the professional who stops replying to emails. Not out of rebellion, not out of decision. They simply stop. The circuit is still there. The instinct to respond is still there. But the energy to maintain the loop is gone. They do not quit. They do not speak. They just stop completing actions. They wait. They wait for permission to stop waiting. Collapse is not an event. It is a fading. The dog starts eating irregularly. Not refusal, indifference. The body is healthy, but the system no longer produces the signals that make actions feel necessary. External permission still exists, but the internal belief in the importance of permission is gone. As belief decreases, emotional attachment and desire decrease as well, and this reflects in the body. This is not learned helplessness. This is learned meaninglessness. The system has been followed so perfectly for so long that the self beneath it has dulled. And when the sense of self dulls, the problem begins. The dog does not know what it wants, because wanting was outsourced 10 years ago. The human does not know what they think, because thinking has been replaced by control. The door remains open. The dog stays in the yard. The stay command was never given, but now no command is needed. The system is still running, but nothing moves. The dog is released from the command. The human says the word, okay, free, whatever was assigned to close the loop. The dog does not move. Permission has been given. The circuit should complete, but the body remains still. The system was followed for so long, so flawlessly, that release is no longer recognized. The dog does not know it is allowed, because permission always came with direction. Forward, sit, wait, come. This is the first time permission arrives without direction, and that is why the dog does nothing. In humans, this is purposeless retirement. The blank page after years of assignments. The moment that looks like freedom but feels like freefall, because the self was never asked what it wanted. The dog finally moves, not towards something, just away from stillness. The documentary does not end, it stops. This is not an animal story. This is a record of what happens when a system is followed perfectly, when permission becomes the only language the self knows, and when permission finally arrives, there is no one left to use it. We've reached the end of another video. If you've watched all the videos, you've seen how the meaning of control can differ greatly across living beings. And life is, in many ways, made of control. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Wishing you good days. James.